Slips, trips, and falls make up the majority of general industry accidents. According to the U.S. Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, slips, trips, and falls account for 15% of all accidental deaths and are only second to motor vehicle accidents as a cause of fatalities. According to the National Safety Council, last year there were 822 occupational deaths due to falls. In addition, the Department of Labor statistics show that slips, trips, and falls were responsible for more than 308,000 non-fatal workplace injuries in 2012, which is the most recent data available. In a recent year, over 400,000 reported injuries were the result of poor housekeeping, causing slips, trips, and falls, and 35% of all lost workdays were caused by injuries due to slips and falls. According to the 2006 Liberty Mutual Workplace Safety Index, the average cost from slips and falls is $22,800 per accident. Regardless of cause, these accidents can cause facilities big bucks in unemployment and liability claims. A study conducted at 2 production halls of a shipyard was monitored for housekeeping performance. An observation method was developed to measure performance. The housekeeping index was significantly improved in both halls after the feedback was started. The effect persisted throughout the 2-year follow-up period. Accidents were reduced by 70 to 90%, much more than expected, merely on the basis of improved housekeeping. The effect of feedback on accidents persisted for a 3-year follow-up period. Why should we pay attention to housekeeping at work? Effective housekeeping can eliminate some workplace hazards and help get a job done safely and properly. Poor housekeeping can frequently contribute to accidents by hiding hazards that cause injuries. If the sight of paper, debris, clutter, and spills is accepted as normal, then more serious health and safety hazards may be taken for granted. Housekeeping is not just cleanliness, it includes keeping work areas neat and orderly, maintaining halls and floors free of spill and trip hazards, and removing of waste materials and other fire hazards from work areas. It also requires paying attention to important details such as the layout of the whole workplace, aisle marking, and the adequacy of storage facilities and maintenance. Good housekeeping is also a basic part of accident and fire prevention. A clean, well-ordered, attractive work environment sets the tone for your establishment. It encourages tidy work habits in employees. It helps reduce fatigue. It promotes good worker-management relations. It also gives a lift to morale, which is reflected in the quality of production and overall efficiency. Good housekeeping is also a good advertisement for your company. Customers and clients have more confidence in an organization when the work being carried out efficiently in clean, pleasant, well-ordered surroundings. There is an even more important reason why good housekeeping matters. It makes the undertaking a safer place to work in. Effective housekeeping is an ongoing operation. It is not a hit and miss cleanup done occasionally. Period panic cleanups are costly and effective in reducing accidents. Poor housekeeping can be cause of accidents such as tripping over loose objects on floors, stairs, and platforms, being hit by falling objects, slipping on greasy, wet, or dirty surfaces, striking against projecting poorly stacked items or misplaced material, cutting, puncturing, or tearing the skin of hands or other parts of the body on projecting nails, wire, or steel strapping. To avoid these hazards, a workplace must maintain order throughout a workday. Although this effort requires a great deal of management and planning, the benefits are many. There are many signs of poor housekeeping. You may recognize some of these in your own workplace. Cluttered and poorly arranged work areas. Untidy or dangerous storage of materials, for example, materials stuffed in corners, overcrowded shelves. Items that are in excess or no longer needed. Blocked or cluttered aisles and exits. Tools and equipment left in work areas instead of being returned to proper storage places. Broken containers and damaged materials. Overflowing waste bins and containers. spills, and leaks.
Go.
Effective housekeeping results in reduced handling due to the ease of flow of materials, fewer tripping and slipping accidents in clutter-free and spill-free work areas, decreased fire hazards, lower worker exposures to hazardous substances such as dust and vapors, better control of tools and materials including inventory and supplies, more efficient equipment cleanup and maintenance, better hygienic conditions leading to improved health, more effective use of space, reduced property damage by improving preventative maintenance, less janitorial work, improved morale, improved productivity. A good housekeeping program plans and manages the orderly storage and movement of materials from point of entry to exit. It includes a material flow plan to ensure minimum handling. The plan also ensures that work areas are not used as storage areas by having workers move materials to and from work areas as needed. Part of the plan could include investing in extra bins and more frequent disposal. The cost of this investment could be offset by the elimination of repeated handling of the same materials and more effective use of the workers' time. Often, ineffective or insufficient storage planning results in materials being handled and stored in hazardous ways. Knowing the plant layout and the movement of materials throughout the workplace can help work procedures. Worker training is an essential part of any good housekeeping program. Workers need to know how to work safely with the products they use. They also need to know how to protect other workers, such as by posting signs like wet, slippery floor signs and repeating any unusual conditions. Housekeeping order is maintained, not achieved. Cleaning and organization must be done regularly, not just at the end of the shift. Integrating housekeeping to jobs can help assure this is done. A good housekeeping program identifies and assigns responsibilities for the following tasks: cleanup during the shift, day-to-day cleaning, waste disposal, removal of unusable material, inspection to ensure cleanup is complete. Do not forget out-of-the-way places such as shelves, basements, sheds, and boiler rooms that would otherwise be overlooked. The orderly arrangement of operations, tools, equipment, and supplies is an important part of a good housekeeping program. The final addition to any housekeeping program is inspection. It is the only way to check for deficiencies in the program so that changes can be made. The documents on workplace inspection checklists provide a general guide and examples of checklists for inspecting offices and manufacturing facilities. In some jobs, enclosures and exhaust ventilation systems may fail to collect dust, dirt, and chips adequately. Vacuum cleaners are suitable for removing light dust and dirt. Industrial models have special fittings for cleaning walls, ceilings, ledges, machinery, and other hard-to-reach places where dust and dirt may accumulate. Special purpose vacuums are useful for removing hazardous substances. For example, vacuum cleaners fitted with high-efficiency particulate air filters, HEPA filters, may be used to capture fine particles of asbestos or fiberglass. Dampening, wetting floors, or using sweeping compounds before sweeping reduces the amount of airborne dust. The dust and grime that collect in places such as shelves, pipings, conduits, light fixtures, reflectors, windows, cupboards, and lockers may require manual cleaning. Compressed air should not be used for removing dust, dirt, or chips from equipment or work surfaces. Aisles should be wide enough to accommodate people and vehicles comfortably and safely. Aisle space allows for the movement of people, products, and materials. Warning signs and mirrors can improve sight lines and blind corners. Arranging aisles properly encourages people to use them so that they do not take shortcuts through hazardous areas. Keeping aisles and stairways clear is important. They should not be used for temporarily overflow or bottleneck storage. Stairways and aisles also require adequate lighting. Spill control. The best way to control spills is to stop them before they happen. Regularly cleaning and maintaining machines and equipment is one way. Another is to use drip pans and guards when possible spills might occur. When spills do occur, it is important to clean them up immediately. Absorbent materials are useful for wiping up greasy, oily, or other liquid spills. Used absorbents must be disposed of properly and safely. Tool housekeeping is very important, whether in the tool room, on the rack, in the yard, or on the bench. Tools require suitable fixtures with marked locations to provide orderly arrangement, both in the tool room and near the workbench. Returning them promptly after use reduces the chance of being misplaced or lost. Workers should regularly inspect, clean, and repair all tools and take any damaged or worn tools out of service. The regular collection, grading, and sorting of scrap contributes to good housekeeping practices. It also makes it possible to separate materials that can be recycled from those going to waste disposal facilities. Allowing materials to build up on the floor wastes time and energy, since additional time is required for cleaning it up. Placing scrap materials near where the waste is produced encourages orderly waste disposal and makes collection easier. All waste receptacles should be clearly labeled, such as recyclable glass, plastic, scrap metal, etc. Good organization of stored materials is essential for overcoming material storage problems, whether on a temporary or permanent basis. There will also be fewer strain injuries if the amount of handling is reduced, especially if less manual materials handling is required. The location of the stockpile should not interfere with work, but they should still be readily available when required. Stored materials should also allow at least 1 meter, or about 3 feet, of clear space under sprinkler heads. Stacking cartons and drums on a firm foundation and cross-tying them where necessary reduces the chance of their movement. Stored materials should not obstruct aisles, stairs, exits, fire equipment, emergency eye wash fountains, emergency showers, or first aid stations. All storage areas should be marked clearly. Flammable, combustible, toxic, and other hazardous materials should be stored in approved containers in designated areas that are appropriate for the different hazards that they pose. Storage of materials should meet all requirements specified in the fire codes and the regulations of environmental and occupational health and safety agencies in your jurisdiction. What we have learned today. Good housekeeping practices are based on common sense and involve little or no investments. Adopting these basic measures to conserve materials, water, and energy can considerably enhance the productivity of an enterprise by reducing the costs of production. Minimizing, reusing, and recycling waste and byproducts prevents pollution at source where it is easier and less expensive to deal with than at the end of the pipe. Companies in many different industrial sectors have already recognized that they can achieve significant reductions in costs and waste by simply changes in the organizational and productional procedures. Further improvements can be gained through more fundamental changes in operations, product design, materials, and the adoption of cleaner technologies, which are beyond the scope of this housekeeping manual. The checklists and concepts contained within this manual are intended to give you a starting point for establishing a more systematic approach to managing quality and environmental aspects and improving the basic working environment of your enterprise as first step to the more comprehensive approach of profitable environmental management. Of all the factors contributing to job safety and health, good housekeeping often appears to be the least interesting and challenging. Yet good housekeeping, some call it plant keeping, can be of vital importance. Good housekeeping is maintained, not achieved, and needs to be done regularly. No matter what job we have, safety and housekeeping are a part of that job. A clean work site is a safe work site. The first and foremost results stemming from good housekeeping are safety and health for both you and your coworkers. Second, when good housekeeping becomes an ingrained habit and begins to happen naturally, the time and effort necessary to keep the workplace clean and safe is reduced. Third, production quantity and quality are increased, which in turn contributes to improved job security for your employees. Good housekeeping is thus an essential factor in a good safety program, promoting safety, health, morale, and production. It is important that we remember that accidents, whether due to a serious fall or someone slipping on the floor, are preventable. In the case of an injury caused by poor housekeeping, it is indeed tragic, as such situations are 100% preventable. It is just a matter of us, as a group and as individuals, to correct these hazards when we identify them. If we cannot correct these situations ourselves, then we can, at least, communicate them to our project managers, field team leads, and/or to our fellow employees so that they are aware. After all, once a hazard has been identified, we are halfway to preventing an accident. It's up to us to do the rest.